Yes, yes, yes. Goeiemôre Afrikaners. Ek hoop dit gaan goed met julle en soos gewoonlik gebruik ek my eie filter wat ek self en bleed orange raak gewoond aan dit as jy na Texas toe kom. Rusted orange is Texas se kleur. So yes, the South African Communist Party, SACP, and allied groups are holding an emergency protest march today at the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria, Thursday, January the 8th, 2026, against the perceived invasion and abduction of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife by the U.S., condemning it as imperialism and violating international law. That's what they say. Of course, it's a bunch of nonsense. Anyway, so it's so crazy. Led by SACP General Secretary Solly Mapaila, the demonstration calls for Maduro's immediate release in solidarity with Venezuela. Now, so who is arranging it is the South African Communist Party, SACP, COSATU, Nahawu, Africa for Palestine, and other groups, and more likely also the EFF. A protest march and a picket. So stay at home today. Where will it happen? At the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria, South Africa, Thursday, January 8, 2026, to protest the alleged U.S. military operation. So that is the idea. I don't know what you're thinking about it. You can most certainly leave a comment there if you think it's a good idea, or if you think it is building up the relationship between the United States and South Africa, or if it's more damaging. I mean, it's clear. The picket was scheduled to begin at 12:00 p.m. outside the embassy. Reports during the event indicated a crowd of more than 100 people that gathered to chant slogans such as "Free Maduro," "Hands off Venezuela." That's what they did. So it has already happened, because unfortunately Thursday, January 8th, in the morning in the US is 8 hours later in South Africa. So this event has already taken place, and it doesn't look like there was that much support for this event. I mean, so the question is, what did the United States charge Maduro with? Narco-terrorism conspiracy, accused of partnering with designated terrorist groups including FARC, ELN, Tren de Aragua, to use cocaine as a weapon to flood the United States. That's number one. Cocaine importation conspiracy, alleged to have conspired to import 5 kilograms of more of cocaine into the US from outside the country. The third thing that they were charged with, or that he was charged with, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, charged with possession of military-grade weapons during and in relation to the drug trafficking crimes. Fourth thing that he was charged with is conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices, alleged to have conspired with others to use these weapons to protect drug routes and enforce control over drug trafficking operation. Specific allegations. The indictment details over 25 years of alleged criminal activity, claiming Maduro leveraged his public office to provide protection, used the Venezuelan military and law enforcement to provide armed escorts and secure routes for cocaine shipments. Diplomatic cover, issue Venezuelan diplomatic passports to drug traffickers, and facilitate the movement of planes carrying drug proceeds under diplomatic protections. Weapon transfers, arrange for weapons to be provided to Colombian guerrilla groups in exchange for cocaine. Following this capture by U.S. Special Forces, Delta Force, Maduro appeared in Manhattan federal court on January 5th 2026, where he pleaded not guilty to all charges, claiming he was kidnapped and he is a prisoner of war. There's no war, is there? Well, if convicted, the charge carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years and a maximum of possible life imprisonment. And that's it. Have a nice day.